The owner of Roblox just changed his avatar to something really weird. Rolls might have just leaked the next event and more wild news today. So if you're new here, please subscribe and let's get into it. Alright, and first let's start with the owner of Roblox changing his avatar, which we haven't seen for a while. A little bit ago, there's this weird phase on Roblox where every week or so, Roblox was changing the avatar and the owner was changing his avatar as well, but they kind of slowed down after all that. But they're back at it. And today, the owner of Roblox himself, the CEO, changed his avatar to something really weird. So if you guys aren't aware, the owner of Roblox has his own account called David.Bazooki. It's like his personal account. And he has done a bunch of weird changes in the past. He had like a OG avatar, then he switched it to like a wolf one time. And then he did like this really weird Arthur avatar. And then he finally landed on like this realistic looking version of him. And it was like that for a few months now. But now he changed to something that literally doesn't make any sense. RBX News tweeted out saying that founder and CEO of Roblox, David Bazooki, has changed his avatar. And as we can see in the picture, this is his new avatar. On the left was his old one, you know, like a realistic version of him, Arthro, and then on the right is his new one, which I don't really understand what the idea was. It doesn't look like him. It's like the super bold, weird looking avatar. He has no pants on for some reason. I don't know what he was planning on doing. He has shoes on and then like a really weird sweater on. And this is actually official. If you go to his profile right now, you can just see by like the icon there, it looks really weird. I don't know what this whole bald head thing is. And the avatar's right there. I have a feeling when this video comes out, he might change it back because we have seen the owner do some weird changes for like one day or like less than a day and then change it back. But as we can see here, new avatar and it looks really weird. Now to be fair, every time they do this, it's always to promote something. Last time was to promote like dynamic faces, but this time I don't really know what they're trying to promote. Maybe the bald head. I mean, as you can see here, it's the Billy head. I don't know if this is new, but in general, with that being said, the owner of Rolls changed his avatar once again to something really weird. And I'm just kind of making fun of it in the community right now because it went from kind of an okay avatar to like some super weird, bald, realistic avatar that just looks weird and, you know, messed up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of the avatar. What would you rate it 1 to 10? Me personally, I'd probably give it like a 1. I don't know, like, it's one of the weirdest avatars I've seen. Especially for the owner of Roblox, you know? I feel like if he showed you this, you wouldn't guess he was the owners, but I mean, it is what it is. And anyways, with that being said, our next story of Rolls might have leaked their next event. So recently, this game right here, Northern Lights Demo 1, was uploaded by the official Roblox Presents team, you know, the people behind the hunt and all that. And everyone started freaking out because in the past, when you've seen them upload games and stuff like that and work on games, it's always been for the event or like an upcoming event. Like, I'm pretty sure people found the classic lobby before it even was officially out and it was just under some like random test name. And a lot of people are assuming that this is going to be the same thing. They try to make the game look like a test place or like a test game, but secretly it's going to be the next event, which is very possible. It literally is the group behind all the events that we had recently. Now, to be fair, there is a bit of like 50-50 in the community with this one. On one hand, a lot of people think Rolls is just trying to hide it and it is like an actual event that they're working on. But on the other hand, a lot of people think that this might just be like another default place and like an actual demo that they're just testing, which does make kind of sense, and I'm leaning more towards that because even if they are trying to hide it, the name is just kind of weird. Like, out of everything you could hide it with, why would you do Northern Lights Demo, you know what I mean? It genuinely seems like they're trying to do what the title says, make like a Northern Lights Demo and potentially make that for like a starter place, you know, in like studio and stuff like that. But here's where it gets a bit weird. That theory would make sense if it was just like the game just like that, no badges or anything like that, because why would you need badges for a test game? And usually games with badges end up being the actual like lobby for an event just because it ends up being the actual badges for like items and stuff like that. And well, a lot of people discovered that this game also has badges. As we can see here, once again, it's just a bunch of random badges, badge 1, 2, 3 up to 5, which kind of makes everything more confusing now because it does seem kind of weird and random, you know, for it to should be like an actual event or like a test, but the badges made it more confusing. So maybe it actually is a starter or like a hold place for the future event. We don't know. Also, that being said though, it would be very insane for them to start working on the next event like so soon. I feel like for the hunt, it took them like a few months, which makes sense because they had to take into account all the feedback and stuff like that. And for this one, I feel like the hunt like just ended. And for this one, I feel like it's a bit soon, but to be fair, the classic did end like a little bit ago now. But in general, with that being said, a very weird and confusing thing happening recently, and potentially Rolls might just leak the next event. But anyways, with that being said, our next story of Rolls making a big mistake once again, because somehow for the 80th million time, Rolls' swear filter broke yet again. As we can see here, these people tweet out saying that Seamless and Rolls accounts are bypassing the Rolls swear filter with swear words, possibly via a font glitch in the username system. And yeah, as we can see here, once again, these people made an account with the swear word and an A word in it, which is pretty insane. I talked about this last time, but for some reason, every single time this happened, it's always the A word. word. Like before we've seen in the past where it's just like, you know, every word, but ever since that got fixed, the only glitches for some reason have always just been the A word. Literally every single time. And the reason at the start I was joking about how it's happened so much is because it's true. This literally happens like once every month, and it's been happening like that for so long now, and it happened yet again, and once again with the A word yet again. I don't know how this always happens, number one, but also how it always happens with the same word. You would think it's easier to fix because it's the same word, you know what I mean? But somehow it just keeps breaking over and over again with the same word over and over again, which is crazy. I don't know how Roblox keeps messing this up, but as we can see here, it was broken yet again. And also with that being said, this seems fine and harmless because most of these accounts do get deleted. However, since this happens so often, a lot of the times some accounts just go under the radar just because there's so much of them because it happens so often. So every once in a while you can find these accounts still up after like several months just because Roblox can't even handle all of them, which is pretty insane. Another massive problem going on Roblox right now that I can't believe is still happening after all these months. But anyways, with that being said, the next story of people being angry at Roblox yet again, and once again it's for some pretty dumb stuff. As we can see here, a popular YouTube creator tweeted out saying that no creativity allowed, and he's responding to this tweet where his people said that we lost a crab and jumping spider bundle too. The reason is extra limbs. When you say everything is extra limbs, it should be sold separately. Just asking if I can see the extra limbs category in the catalog. I don't think so. These bundles are still offering a wide range of customization options even if it was the issue. I don't see the point of removing something people love and earning almost millions of dollars for the company, and I only get 10%. Roblox moderation doesn't do anything besides distracting creators from creating more content on the platform. It doesn't make any sense for me. So yeah, as we can see here, two very popular bundles on Roblox got completely deleted from Roblox, and Roblox was the ones who took this down, saying it broke the rules, which is pretty insane. And not only just that, but as he mentioned, this package was huge. It was selling millions of dollars worth, and obviously making Roblox a bunch of money because they only get a small cut. But yet Roblox still took it down because of some dumb reason, like, you know, you're not allowed to have extra limbs and stuff like that, which is pretty insane and pretty horrible once again, because not only is it bad for them because they're losing a bunch of money, but it's also bad to all the players who had this item. Now they can't use it anymore, you know what I mean? And in general, with that being said, a lot of creators and players are mad at Roblox now just because, as he mentioned, Roblox is literally ruining creativity on the platform because stuff like this gets taken down, you know, for breaking the rules. But you can click on the catalog right now and see 80 million like dominance copies that don't get taken down, and those get through, and then, you know, no one cares about them. But an actual package that, you know, a lot of people enjoy and have so much effort into, people, you know, it gets taken down, which is pretty insane and horrible from Roblox, and a lot of people are angry at them right now because it's literally like there's no reason they're doing this. And if you guys remember, there's a similar problem last time, like a little bit ago, where someone made like a wheelchair accessory, but Roblox took it down once again because it had like too many parts or something like that. It's really dumb, honestly, from Roblox, and a lot of people are angry at them. But anyways, with that being said, our next story of Roblox items getting more expensive, but also a little bit cheaper. Some stuff got cheaper, some stuff got more expensive, and there's actually a bunch of them. As we can see here, Builder Noob tweeted out saying that price for changes: positives, hats decreased by 10 Robux, face decreased by 10 Robux, shirts decreased by 10 Robux, shorts decreased by 10 Robux, and dress skirts by 5 Robux. So not bad. A lot of stuff went down by 10 Robux, which is pretty cool. However, it's not all good because it's Roblox, obviously. Negatives: hats increased by 20 Robux, necks increased by 10 Robux, t-shirts increased by 10 Robux. So yeah, once again, the dynamic floor prices are making stuff way more expensive, but also a little bit cheaper. But literally always like the main stuff that people buy, you know, like hats for example, always ends up going up, I feel like. And right now they're at like a max of like 95, which is crazy, you know what I mean? And once again, if you guys aren't aware why this is happening, because I talk about this a lot, because it happens like every once in a while, it's all because of dynamic floor prices. Basically how the UGC catalog, or just the catalog in general, works nowadays is that everything is a dynamic floor price for a minimum floor price, meaning it's the cheapest it can be, and it's dynamic, meaning that it can fluctuate constantly. So if there's like a bunch of demand for one category, that category goes up, but if there's not a much demand for one category, that goes down. So for example, if a bunch of people start buying hairs, the hair price will go up because Roblox sees there's a bunch of demand. But if everyone stops buying hairs, Roblox will see no one's demanding them, and then the price will go down. And it's like that just forever, and everything will constantly fluctuate, getting more expensive and maybe a little bit cheaper, but for the most part, from what we've seen, it's always more expensive, which is obviously very annoying. We went from getting stuff for so cheap and like actually reasonably priced to everything having a floor price of pretty expensive. And in general on Roblox right now, yet again, everything's just getting more expensive. And yet again, it's obviously caused more drama because everyone's angry at Roblox saying, you know, everything's getting so expensive now, which it is. I mean, I don't even blame people for being angry. But anyways, with that being said, if you enjoyed, check if you to find out why everyone hates Roblox right now. I'll see you in the next one.